on the Mines and Energy Committee, Member of Parliament, Yape Kosogo constituency, former Deputy Energy Minister, the Honourable John Jinapor, about cancer, or Hanyamia Dom, or about cancer. And me run a car, but I fear the uncommon ashes. So, Honourable Boko there.
Joseph,
Edanyamiase, Papa. Yape Kosogo Boko.
Mekwachina.
Oh, Boko Watchna.
Say I rise it.
Yeah.
After a very tumultuous.
And as I'm resuming in October.
Normally October.
Was that the time
second time Kakraum? This time na yeah, I say at the Nyama Bebre.
In the constituency.
The whole school be because almost 3 months.
Yeah.
Sometimes humanity me boring.
And easy. About the house constituency so share names Papa. There is this announcement also quickly and this is from the national organizer of the NPP, lawyer Henry Nanabuache, or say invitation to NPP at 30 Thanksgiving service as part of activities to mark the 30th anniversary of the NPP. There will be a Thanksgiving service to honor God for his mercies and favor upon the Elephant family. National, regional, and constituency officers of the party, ministers and deputy ministers, honorable MPs, MMDCEs, head of parastatals, government appointees, TESCON members, as well as the rank and file of the NPP are by this notice invited to the NPP at 30 Thanksgiving service under the theme NPP at 30, our shared tradition, holding and working together for a stable and prosperous nation. The event will be graced by His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo as the special guest of honor, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Honorable Akosua Frima Osei Opare, and a host of other dignitaries. Chairman for the occasion will be Stephen Intim, National Chairman of the NPP. Almost say Basso Sunday, July 31st, 2022, 7 a.m. prompt. Venue near Dr. Kofi Ohene Kunedu Auditorium, UPSA here in Accra. And it goes on and says, we look forward to having a fruitful Thanksgiving service with you. Thank you. Signed, Justin Kodua Frempong, General Secretary, NPP. And on an inside statement, we are saying, Kwasiade 7 a.m. Our Dr. Ohene Kunedu Auditorium, our University of Professional Studies, Accra. And Timunshan and so MIA. Honorable Ian Shasia, Enra, me follow my press conference now Parliament. This time now about Bost. Issues near day.
Many of that's it. Nedi can mention a TFO, you know. Why I accept as a member had said, program, you know, you've carved a certain niche for yourself. Balanced, objective, honest. It will be all of us have problems with you, and it's normal. I mean, but by and large,
yes.
You know, you can disagree with me. And I've had a lot of disagreements with you. We've had arguments.
Yeah.
Okay. Nye penny say on mine ye sika any ye jeopardy no. We would use it judiciously. 2015.
2015.
But you can say be a Bost for statement now.
Okay.
Because I want to walk
and not dear no.
My son you the grand numbers as well over friend no so because people want to know the truth or otherwise. No. See you everybody can then make his mind and our opinion. 2015. I have the contract document here. My son you all the 102 page documents. And a Bost decided to say rental on the board. You know what they want to do is say ombesi twin tower. Okay. You twin tower here for say a bronsign mienu. Bakusia. Now for a very long time now. Boss be you sue ombe renti be they can generate internally generated funds na their augment your money.
Meaning say omo office as see a what jowulu no.
Omo rented.
Rented.
Yes, at about I think about $100,000 a year. Let me check the figure. Many workers say me check it. Now I just want us to get all the facts.
Okay.
Nti kwame word akwa administration engage Rolida. Semunsi at a cost of $39 million
for the twin tower.
For the twin tower.
Okay.
And over board statement na ewom.
Yeah, ewom.
They've confirmed that 39. Meboa.
Yes.
And along the line, a Jumane Shasing to make a payment crowd of $8 million. We 8 every 39 ma ebeka 31.
Yes.
31. Fofi and Twata and NDC Yelusu ye. Yelusu na President Kufuor appointing new management. And a new management they say 39 ne boy den dodo.
In the office we have value for money.
Value for manual audit.
Yes.
And yeah no nko Yoko be investigate a word ako. The word ako call Yoko severally. So you're investigating project no. Na me Yoko for letter no ewa ha. And I've sent you the documents.
Yes.
So you can put it.
Oshema Yoko the Fato Facebook Live now.
Economic and Organized Crime Unit.
Yes. Where dated
February 25th, 2019.
Very well.
Echo Bost MD ho.
Yes.
Uhe page 2 conclusion. Yoko is of the opinion that Rolida and Bost must sit and renegotiate the contracts.
Okay.
The two figures, $39 million, which in the opinion of Mr. Alfred Obey, former MD
or Bost,
was inflated. You can say what inflated contractor. Actually, say be a contract no, a 10 million,
and why
but why no 20 million?
And we were Yoko
letter. Okay. This is the reference number received by Bost.
Yeah.
When documents in if agent one if minipa ho.
Okay.
Minipa bi ho.
Okay.
Inti 39 against what the current Bost administration for is 17 million 496 573.74. Inti Bost and Akufo administration they say 39 on the boy den dodo.
Yes.
Na rather, I say about 17. What I mean around 17.5 million. Assessed by engineers. That is MPP for more engineers. And no more say here, and no more say no. 17.5. The figure by Institute of Surveyors has been challenged by Rolida Ghana Limited.
Okay.
Inti Rolida focus say no, ni amonka nya no kre. Mo 17 na mo de buy no, we are challenging it. So this is what Yoko concluded. Since the construction of the building is at an advanced stage,
yes,
just a construction na kwa enim. Yoko is of the opinion that the two entities, that is Bost and Rolida, must look at the price again. The final paragraph said, so far, no criminality has been detected.
Okay.
But you can have it.
Yes.
Opa fatwa. So Yoko say a word that enye boni bia.
Yes.
Contract na mo say inflated no. We cannot because inflated contractor a criminal.
Yes. But
mon trase na mon ninkita e bia na roll it for your den. O mateso kakra anameboa.
Yes.
This is the bottom line of the matter. Mr. Afedi read almost statement.
Okay.
I just want to lay this basis.
Yeah.
Say 39 is inflated. The current Bost administration says it's 17. Yoko investigates. They find no wrongdoing. But they say,
yes.
So let's go on.
Okay. In response to allegations made by the ranking member of the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament, Honorable John Jinapor, on the Bost head office project. July 29th, 2022, Accra. The ranking member of the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament, Honorable John Jinapor, led the minority in a press engagement in which allegations were made regarding the Bost head office project. We wish to respond to the litany of allegations as follows. 1.
Mr. Wo, so we read English.
Yes.
You can't litany of allegations, sir. Chesa, you can't send bebre. Until more fun and normal responding.
That's a good attempt. Bost entered a contract to construct a twin tower head office building in 2015 and paid a commitment fee of $8 million.
Maka $8 million.
In 2016 for the work to begin.
And at what price?
The project was to cost a total of $39 million.
Maka say 39,
VAT 8. Exclusive. The procurement process was not followed through.
We will debate that. I will note it.
By the then management of the company at the time. Allegations of inflated cost resulted in the project being halted in 2017.
So the allegations say 39 no inflated. Into your halted project and say
yes. A value for money audit was carried after halting of the project. Forensic audit by IOCO also confirmed that there was no malfeasance in the process.
I said yes. Forensic audit beyond normal audit.
Yeah, beyond normal.
Yeah, forensic audit ni nyina no. No malfeasance. Just a dream ketasi DNA sanima bibia ni ho. Nti dawo totin.
Yeah.
Good.
The current management of Bost in correcting the procurement anomaly applied to the PPA, Public Procurement Authority, for a ratification of the contract and to vary the terms to procure one of the 2 tower buildings, since the current cash flow position of the company would not permit the purchase of the twin tower.
Yes, almost
good. And what this means, they say, even the twin tower, no, now enyadi omusi from scratch,
no, agreement say roll leader.
Okay, okay.
Okay, that's it.
That's right. Good. The $39 million submitted to the PPA for approval is the original contract sum.
Until a word of original contract sum near
39, yes. Good. Assigned in 2015. In contravention of the procurement law.
We'll deal with that. My Attorney General documents. I will address that. I've noted it.
Okay. To request for a variation of the terms, the normal procedure required that the original contract gets approved before the variation. In the year 2020, an independent valuer appointed by both parties valued the project at $49.6 million.
So project now moving from here to here.
From 39 million to 49 million. In the meaning, say $10.6 million.
That is the first, by their own statement. I'll come with many documents.
Yes.
What Bost is saying is, 39 na car say inflated. Chrono abamuno.
Yes.
Ye no. You negotiate about 49 million. Does this make sense to you? Yes, it is so. Dollars.
I don't know. Was it? Would you term it at negotiation? And I almost say there was an independent valuer. 2 parties, no, raw leader and Bost, FI, to value the project. We again at 49 million.
You had a contract at 39. You base year. Kabana ye da. You say 39 no. It's too expensive. Because Bost why appointed who independent person.
Yes.
What value say 17. Uchi move for 6 years.
6 years.
Minister for Finance. Echre say munko negotiate enhwesa mbetimi ateso a. Munko negotiate ye wiesa moteso a. Afa nteso no by Bost own statement a jump for 49 million.
49 million.
Dollars oh.
Yeah, dollars. Yes.
Does that even make sense to you?
$10.6 million.
$10.6 million. When you could have done the twin tower at 39 at that time.
But granted, say in 2016, say omuko through a year and can be at $39 million.
That's what you pay.
The cost. But the point is, say when through a or more actions and inactions, no, a halty project, no, so more forensic audit or more value for money audit. 6 years down the line, if you are going back to that project, it will not.
That is the point I'm making. That's our first point. So you've hit the nail on the head. Say you come to meet a project at 39. What was the basis for saying say 17 million? What was the basis for halting it? Couldn't you have been constructing the project and still investigating? No, let's face it. So who now your appointee was managing director for Asempa FM. Now we'll take you over from Dominic. Was your Dominic Mikey? Me remember your assessment. Me GD say Mike no, enye 1 million, enye 500. Now eventually, muko wiye no. Afikura de waje to enye 1 million be mu, enye 1.5 million na. Have you helped the company or not? All this while, so no. To your monthly and yearly rent.
Or rented office.
Or rented office. So what the yearly rent, you know, you can imagine the cost involved. Is this not a legitimate concern? But 49 no, go on.
Okay.
I just want to deal with this and come and deal with the figures itself.
But Honorable, would you also agree, say, just by virtue of the time lag, the cost will go up, not necessarily.
Which means, say,
be inflated.
Which means, say, the cost was not inflated first of all.
In 2016.
In 2016, that's the first thing I want to establish. Say, Mr. Wedako was vilified. Look, that man went through a lot. I have been to Yoko. You know what it means to go and sit at Yoko. He went through forensic audit. So the question is, has the state benefited from this action or not? Because the state must benefit. Yet, your first interest is to protect the interests of the state. In terms of resources, the amount. And
yes.
That's what you're supposed to do. And when you make a decision and you go a certain route, now a tenant say you were incompetent, you must face the consequence. Is this not the case of causing financial loss?
Because I remember, sir, when I read Bost and Casa letter and so to PP, the recent one, no more variations.
Yes.
They had to establish where the project started and all of that.
That is it.
In that same letter, also say after auditing in
yes, I mean, Yoko said there's no issue. Attorney General said there's no issue. Bost and Casa said there's no issue. Until why yes, our auditor say 17 million. No? You insisted say 39, 17. Eventually, Obabe project no. Who they call 49? Who say 49? I'll deal with it. It's not true. I'll deal with the 49. Who's the 49? Would they let's even run it up to 50?
50.
Never say 50 because I want to establish something going forward.
Okay.
Then eventually, would they pay 10 million and I become. Meanwhile, for the past 6 years or so, no, 5 years, no, you've been paying yearly rent on another year. Office. Is that not another cost? Okay. That is what I just want to establish.
Very well. The board and management of Bost decided to purchase one block out of the two. The contractor valued the single block to be procured at $23.5 million.
Fantastic.
VAT exclusive.
Good.
Ntino,
building back 23 million.
Yes.
This is a letter dated May 20, 2022. I'll come to the 78. Okay. Yet bring 78. So. Okay. But I just want to do it on one statement.
Okay.
Was it Otono
23.5 million?
The acting chief executive, public procurement authority, way free boss too.
Yeah. 2022, yeah.
2022, May 20th.
Okay.
Paragraph 1, 2, and 3. Paragraph 3, and I just want to re-emphasize the issue of the Niaoka. Nonetheless, Iyoko did not establish any wrongdoing in respect of the contract after investigating same.
Yeah.
Iyoko Ashishim. This is the MD. This is signed by
Provencal.
Edwin Provencal, managing director. So Iyoko, a word I could song. 2, the Attorney General also advised Bost to engage role leader in the absence of any vitiating factors and proceed with the execution of the project as originally agreed. The Attorney General is the lawyer for Yenina. Attorney General say, there's no breach. Into this issue, a provincial arbitrator say breaches, no. It's a figment of its own imagination.
That is procurement breaches, not
yes.
referred to. No?
If there were procurement breaches, they would have charged people for breaching the Procurement Act. Because when you breach the Procurement Act,
there are consequences.
There are consequences. Until maybe a provincial there. And no, I don't want to even deal with an individual. I want to deal with the substance of the matter. Onimnia Walker. He doesn't understand why he's talking. When the Attorney General expresses a legal opinion, what want to mean in our office? Now let's go to page 2. Or say, following the value for money audit and as a result of the huge financial cost involved in acquiring the Twin Tower, the Bost board took a decision for management to acquire one block of the head office under construction instead of the original twin building at an agreed contract cost of $32 million.
That is one tower.
One tower. Take it. I have underlined it with a pen. You can read it for a TFO. No, no, that page.
Yeah,
oh, share baby. Yes. Now read the trade.
Okay, May 20th, 2022. Okay. About with reference just wait any page 2. I can document no
yeah, page 1 and 2. Do check here over.
Yeah,
Mr. Nemam.
Yeah.
Mr. Read the whole and read the
sentence had increased from 39 million
to one now they are two.
In the page 2 no or say following the value for money audit as a result of the huge financial cost involved in acquiring the twin-story buildings, the Bost board of directors took a decision for management. That is board resolution dated 24th November 2020.
No, board resolution
No crown. Okay, there is a mistake with the date because almost say board resolution dated 24th November 2022. We are not yet in 2022 November.
We are not in November 2022.
It's
2021. I have the board resolution here.
2021. Okay.
Maybe
a typo.
Okay, sir. I mean, I don't even want to deal with.
Okay.
I want the substance.
Yeah. It was say took a decision for management to acquire one block of the head office building under construction instead of the original twin-story building as agreed in the contract, which has been estimated to cost $32 million. In addition to this is an attached no objection letter dated 27 September 2021 from the Ministry of Finance giving Bost the go-ahead to borrow an amount of $24 million from Fidelity Bank towards the purchase of the said building. And the estimated cost now was $32 million.
Yes.
They were given the green light to borrow $24 million. Maybe I know major difference. Or maybe they are so.
No, but let me explain that to you.
But any statement, no. Any statement, no. Say the board and management of Bost decided to purchase one block out of the two. The contractor valued the single block to be procured at $23.5 million. Okay.
So contractor value say Fidelity, no? Contractor say 23.
Yes.
32 neframe. So the unit is not 23. We want to know the cost of the unit, one unit. So we multiply by 2. No,
yes.
So this issue of one single unit being 23 is false.
But why do you doubt, say, 23? Because
this is the letter they have written.
To PPA.
To PPA. I want to just give you, say, provincial letter on what PPA and say, single unit, value near day, 32. And let me tell you why. I'm adducing evidence to the entire 32. Already, Rolly Daji 8 million.
Yeah, what's 8 million?
What the 24 no can I say? 32.
Yeah, that's 32 million.
That is it. So the cost of the building is 32 million originally, and not 23 or can.
Asempa FM 94.7.
32 times 2. ASA.
Amount 64.
64 million. When you could have done that contract, 2 no at 39.
But for the decision to halt and investigate.
To accuse the former administration of so-called inflation and all that, and you wanted to save money from the 39, based on one letter, no, he ended up with what? 64 if you were to do the 2. No,
I get you.
Now, let me go to, because John Kuma letter, 27 September 2021. And this is when the Ministry of Finance gave the no objection. Say, "Motia 8 million already. 32 there. Munko borrow 24 no. Na muntu anka on enye day. Enye 32. They've gone to borrow that money.
Fidelity Bank.
I don't even want to mention banks. Anyway,
it's in the letter.
They borrowed that funds at 18%.
The 24 million. No.
18% per annum. No CDO. Dollar. 18% aside the upfront fee and all the other charges. No. Interest rate 18%. He's telling us he said the Bost. Omo financials na improve your name boy. He stated it. What's your word quarter and then cry? Cause Bost about 300% increment in the Bost margin. Aye nyina yetua o. Yetua de ma Bost. So their revenues have increased. I'll just check the exact figures here from my tablet and give it to you. If your revenues have increased, your balance sheet has increased, you are doing well, do you go to borrow at 18%? Now, let me deal with the issue of the 789 cars because
shouldn't we go through a more
yeah, you're right. Yeah. So that we can deal with it step one after the other. You're right.
For now, in summarizing 32 million, 23 million confusion, the total for a block and as a tower 32 million.
Yes.
But as we've established, 8 million had already been paid to raw leader. And not just say we 8 million if it's 32 million anymore. Ebeka 24 million.
And we are talking of one single tower and not two towers.
Good.
And this is the contract. I confirm the 32. No?
The 32 million.
I'll just open that page and give it to you. And we a contract between Bost and raw leader.
Okay. Into your trust with any boss statement. Now, I must say, and no objection was secured from the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning to proceed with sourcing funds to carry through the procurement of the single block. In the no objection in John Kuma Diana Wakai at the Amayeno. The ratification of the initial contract was secured on the 19th of May 2022. Bost is currently occupying a rented premises and, in our view, securing the single block at the 23. Okay, into they repeat the 23.5 million. No,
but his letter.
Yeah,
this is a press statement.
8 million.
Yes, this is a press statement about issue. But on the letter, what they call approval from procurement, no?
About 32.
32.
Because now 8 million.
This is an original official document.
Yeah.
It's on record in your press statement.
Okay. Because they've confirmed earlier in this same statement. So much 8 million. I'm a rolling.
Fantastic.
And you have to add the 8 million
to that cost. Thank you.
I get you. Okay. Bost is currently occupying a rented premises, and in our view, securing the single block at 23.5 million will help to do away with the burden of rising cost of rent in the current premises. The blocks are not the same in terms of the facilities they harbor. The one Bost is acquiring is customized to accommodate the staff of the company based on the corporate structure which existed at the time of the contract. The other block was intended to be rented out to raise further income for Bost.
So let me deal with this.
I said, acquire one. So how would they be able to rent the other block now out?
What they are saying is they say they pay one pay. Yenje other one nibium. That's what Bost is saying.
Yes. But
so what happens to the second one?
The other block was intended to be rented out to raise further. Okay, it was intended.
Yes. Until because they have augmented their IGF.
Okay. In the meaning that now they've given that block out. They are no longer taking that
they're taking just one?
Just one. And they will leave the other. Good. The two blocks per the valuer's report in 2020 cost $49.6 million. And the simplistic arithmetic of multiplying the original contract cost to the PPA for ratification by 2 to claim the blocks cost $78 million is simply erroneous. But I know they have a basis, no?
What we are saying here is that there's a PPA letter of 39.
Yes. No, 32.
39. No, 78 and 170 they say you're dealing with, no?
Okay.
And he raises, say, how come say PPA letter, no? Air can 39 when you want to buy only one? So, to 139, it only makes rational sense, say. Because then the 278. And we are calling for investigation to determine the matter. But it's undisputable. Say the cost of the project, instead of doing a value for money audit or negotiating to reduce it, it's rather hiked. There's no doubt about that. Anamiboa,
I get you.
From all this evidence, there's no doubt. So there are lessons we are learning as a country. Say, if you take over January, you've just taken over in the early parts of 2017 in your haste and all that, do you go ahead with that action they took? And has it helped this country? And currently, when you had the option to take a twin building for 39, now you are taking one.
Yes.
Based on one statement, no, for 32. It's your choir now you buy.
And I tell you buy.
Is this not a legitimate call?
The minorities' problem really was the haste with which are buying Halty project.
No, that's
when
just
they
one.
took over.
That's just one.
Because none of the subsequent problems.
Yes, but then we must even investigate why we are paying 32 for one bill, just one, based on normal statement. We must also investigate why the PPA gave this approval of 39 when the Attorney General and all those people have cleared the matter. Because the PPA card, in my opinion, because all these criminal matters is Attorney General on a bit. Some crowd the motive as a chain on a bit initiative prosecution. So if the Attorney General says, look, if you will be okay. Now, one na chain, you know, any man from as far as I'm concerned, no, is meaningless. So our first point had to do with the haste and how they decided to truncate that project. The second point is the cost involved, because even as we're truncating project for 6 years,
yes,
rent. The other issue is what we are I say moving from 39 to 49 million. After we say we tobacco, wow, let the PPA no. What only 32 million.
32 million.
We say wow agency no. They say the money is more make it profit. Okay, I said this year promise I will make it profit. It turned out to be false. I have their financial statement here. Bost made a loss last year, contrary to the chief executive Ebekachire. So the 78 we raised was based on this letter. He says it's simplistic. Fine, let's investigate it.
It may bow a move from 39 to 49.6 million. No? The 49.6 million was supposed to build the two towers. And the management and the board decided, say, they will buy one.
Only one.
And one, no, it's costing 32 million.
Based on only letter.
Yeah, based on the letter. No.
And when they went, we then got another letter from PPA. You who so much letter. And I say, how? Then if you do this 39, over 78, that's what we are saying. That's why we didn't end. We said, let's investigate this matter. Now, what? Wama omana boka biano. Only omano Eddie. Because from the Ekosiisen, Obi, as the nation benefited.
Let me read. Let me read it when you. Okay. I say, these are the facts as pertaining to the Bost head office building, which started in 2016 and is yet to be occupied by the company. We at this point will urge the minority to at least seek better understanding and clarification of issues before engaging the press, because at some point in time, failure to do due diligence could result in embarrassment. It is the contract signed without resort to due process, which by law was submitted for ratification by the PPA, because any variation of the terms could be attempted by the current management. Money has time value, and what cost 39 million in 2015 would most likely cost something higher 6 years later.
Very good.
And that's the point I made as well.
Was the contract stopped because of PPA issues?
No.
Why was it stopped?
Because they suspected inflation of the
This
figure.
man doesn't know what he's talking about. With the greatest of respect. And it hurts me because that position, and your position, Ketwa. And you see, son of premise here, it will create embarrassment for us and all that. Yoko letter, they didn't talk about procurement breaches.
No.
The Yoko says that the contract has been inflated. Wow, letter cry, wow, provinciano. We see it was because the contract had been inflated. And America says, "Oh, breach procurement processor." And they are buying no deal. And you provincial.
Yeah.
If you breach the Public Procurement Act, it means a what tomra. What church they know? He just doesn't understand it, what he's doing.
But at least you also agree, sir, between the 39 million in 2015 and 49.6 million 6 years later, no, understandable, right?
We are dealing with dollars first of all.
Yeah, dollars.
I'm saying this was even avoidable. We shouldn't even be here.
Okay, had we not halted the
Yes,
the
because they
original
didn't halt it because what's one co PP and now one yes say.
Now say
No.
suspect inflation.
What's the inflation? We now acquire value for money. Now value for money, they say you say a pin near 1 CD.
Yeah.
And I say 2 CD. And that's the value issue of value for money.
Yeah.
So what's he talking about?
I how your mind will be because pass me on our parliament move my answer. Obi. Abri bia ya best san buying bia no. You review bia wo my na obi the call say rules a yetimi ehwe eka say ye call the road. You be we na 2 years, e bi kura 3 years. Na sika ye di wura kwan num no. E kwan no kura send chain before. Before contractor na be call back to the site no. Na sika say etua ma contractor no kwan no. E so chain contract sam no. Ade na o man ye ho boni.
No, that's a legitimate point.
Why? What is that?
It's a legitimate point. Because Obin K 2 na 39. Nka yen say ntua yearly rental.
Yeah.
Wo check yearly rent ye tua. Over baby omo wose say omo se ne bo eden dodo. Now the be cancer is we ho a. You'll be hitting that 39 million.
Yeah.
And you would have gotten 2 buildings. Me bo aka kire me.
That's true.
Inti provincial, well, you should be patient a bit and learn on the job. Look, next week, Tuesday, and the metro airtime on Bost. We are a Ghana gas the India, maybe call the following week. And no, yeah, and also mood do kakra, but me no tour. I want to settle this matter. Look, go and find out whether the Bost board members do not take 64 gallons of fuel every month.
64 gallons of fuel.
Every month.
64 gallons.
You check. Look,
Every
I will
month.
bring you information. I mean,
But is 64 gallon too small, too much?
a board member, not the administrative staff.
Board member.
Board members.
Omushia, how many times a year? They take it every month?
I'm telling you.
And
I mean, the name of a
No, is it when they have meetings, no moji fuel allowance, Nana say,
Ask them.
every month?
Na meeting buy into allowance. Your mom meeting allowance.
And I was how many gallons?
64.
Are you sure?
What I told me, bro. Look, I will bring you enough information. Where time I sign a contract with, na CD to dollar, 3.8, and then 8 point something. Look at the amount of money we'll be losing. Now 3.8, and then based on me in Crawford and Bremen, what the answer say 8.2. Even if you didn't do anything, check the losses. Meanwhile, what you are 8 million man, I will create 8 million no for another 6 years. He's talking of time value of money. 8 million compound it over 6 years. At even
The
10%.
company has made free money.
You compound 8 million now or mujai for the past 6 years and compound it at just 10%. On one bubble 18%. I have a financial calculator. I can check for you the future value 6 years of 8 million by 18%. What bubble this year? What was why I didn't know? Would you 18% on a dollar denominated amount? Meanwhile, my dollar 8 million, I'm another for 6 years. At the same time, move to your rent. Move here, once I have my contract, no so 49 for the 2. Oko tobacco, I was 32. What kind of cock and bull story is this? And you have the audacity to advise us?
Enti say me read the statement now, and then I would ask some follow-up questions now for you. We say these are fundamental principles of finance which cannot be overlooked. The current management of Bost has used the procurement law to correct the anomalies of the process, and through a transparent process decided to acquire half of the train tower to house their operations. With an independent valuer involved, the figures arrived at were a true and fair reflection of the current pricing of the project, and we are confident that the decision is in the best interest of the taxpayer. We therefore urge the public to ignore the ill-informed allegations of the minority and be assured that Bost is safe and secure in the hands of the current management. The ever loss-making Bost is set to announce a huge turnaround in the next couple of weeks due to the diligence and hard work of the current management. Our collective interest is secure, and we are working hard to ensure better days of fuel security in the country. God bless our homeland, Ghana. But Honorable, last paragraph is not something you can doubt. Or say in the next few weeks, they will be announcing a major turnaround in the fortunes of...
This is the same man who told us that Bost has made profit.
Before
I will just share it with you. He held a press conference. Bost makes profit. What
FM.
Or the province,
yes.
He appeared before our committee and apologized. He appeared before our committee, retracted and apologized.
Retracted the fact that they've made
that any get directed in class one cop holding another press conference. Now on fan no current to just say you can no and I'm sending you the link of but you can say Minua mama no contract 39 million me boy. Then we can say no 39 million no doors.
On the door.
You should share more we the comfort now. So then your true figure you more about so why are there? Hey, what's it that? What the based on one statement, your last one you say your true value. 39 na true. Na you lower. Say there 49 no and you true. Meanwhile, was 39 is inflated. And in all the correspondence, no issue of procurement breaches came up. It was not a subject for consideration. We raised this 78 because when we saw this 39, and if you look at our statement, we talked about the 24, we talked about the 49, we talked about the 39, and you back time can say 39 yeah a free PPA was and I know yeah 2022
yeah
until no no
say and no car say the original contract had to be approved before the variation.
So we had a justification to raise all this because so first of all, why did you even stop the contract? Was it really inflated as was alleged in your statement? Why did the Attorney General say that the contract meets the requirements of the law? Is it for you to sit and interpret the law? Are you better than the Attorney General? Yoko amo invite on Meshushim. Why did Yoko say Bibia ye kama? Ediane buy afedie. Adia wo say 39 no. Ako 49. 49 is now wakotoba akwa. Wakotono 32. It just doesn't make sense for me.
I'm told the head of corporate affairs at Bost would want to make a point into Nkomwa Yedi. I've gotten a very interesting message from somebody who is an industry person, close to the industry, or some interesting way, but I'll read and then I'll pick your thoughts on. But Malik Ejay Abekayensa, Malik Akwa Ekosiisen Suni.
Major Bro Obi, Apshia, what if we in our area?
Apomo Yede.
You are done, Bibi Aboko.
Confirm my now the board and management of Bost decided to say on top one tower instead of the two. One tower now more ton at the cost of saying.
Me that's it. Much I would say for that much Honorable John Jinapor our studio and Nick Bibi out here some area.
Yes.
The board and management of Bost Ajatum say yen to me and to yes towers you know a brea you home into talk back on na ya dia yaduma we have valuation a year no 2020 no the board ko see 49.6 no
yes
near year kia adiaje ade no 23.5 million dollars.
Not just you've divided 49.6 million into two.
So we divided 49.6 into two. A further 1.3 is free, so and sana about 23.5 million dollars.
Into the 23.5 million, no, does it take into account 8 million and now Triama Rolly no?
The patrol, sir, valuation or year in 2020, any price I'll generate, you know, the $8 million paid no enka. Lemum say you bu akonta ahwese you tia 23.5 na tax any so no the taxes eka ho efa 8 million na eno any 32 no na ma men clear ha am sana Honorable Jinapor make point is say aden na de no 32. Now your copper clearance, you say 24. So what you see Canada? Now koje Bosnia etu bia so so amana ko du ba bia. Bosnia no ho na wo clearance. In this all pasa o san budget $32 million, Bosnia they akotia $32 million eka. E wa bra watua $8 million dada. E ho emom na nka bibi e wa e be fata ntwere mu. Ne mom se wunya ntiase se e ye 32 8 there e ya de akodi contractor ne ho dada. It is at 23.5 without tax no. And eba be come amana so a. I think that is when you'll be doing the mathematics correctly.
Yeah, but say okay statement nso a the impression one gets and it's Bost is consciously pushing a narrative say one block no 23.5 million. Which is really not the case because I was say at every point no only 8 million account into the constant reference to the fact that we are buying the one block at 23.5 million no might not be factual and
me da say the you be at the end no eba be see 23.5 without VAT and you tia there I was say you tia no e de ama or no basically sika ye kwa akogye ade tia ade no ka ama yensa aka no na ye de buy nti say obi
in all of this no when all is said and done how much are we paying to Rolida for one tower no
sir what is $8 million you see on 2016 no I can the 23.5 without tax a year can what them see there then the $32 million is valid
in the one tower is costing us $32 million
me pacho said the matrimony the did and
but based on the earlier valuation no ye two na anka ye betua $49.6 million no
me pacho $49.6 million
how come from 2020 to 2022 year to one no year turn for $32 million adai
ma men show mu say edan ye mienu but enye mienu aye pepepe wana a conceive project no na woni so ade hunu ni say boss adwuma no ye beye e wodan no ba kom e na e pro de ye sie na ne o person rent no ba ye gina ono ne requirements so aye ntichemu atre facilities abebe mu if you no any facilities the anti want to mean chabuo no mienu say eye mienu nti we boni we aye fixed to the specifications of Bost into nibo enko na we no say obi na ebe rent the higher den you could not project from the beginning into no it was not so demarcated and furnished with facilities study away no no into me myself ba 49.6 no na wa chem mienu say na wa fa efa eboye yente efa ho no ase
it meaning say efa 49.2 na say ye di si mienu ni nyina enne a anka will spend 32 million on the amoma fa no na the ebeka kakra no ne besi the other one right sa na woka
me nim to the metri
no the metri was say meba I understand what you said the wo kan say ba ko na amafa no specifications was dan ne ho no higher than the other one is that not the case
yeah
super and amebusa say based on specifications in the bibia no eno na ama eno no air cost higher than the other one no
yeah
inti say eba say ebia anka mo decide say mo to one and ebia anka mo to two ni nyina anka we be 32 less 49 million for back no sanity
mean conclude this in the sense say $8 million no edikanya kodi a contract and over a period of 6 years near money has time value cement any iron rods and a DC dine
yes
2015-2016 the price of a bag of cement the price of a bag of cement today what the year seen in there asem ebemwa I think we may be misleading our listeners until I will not go by sir final
no but say nye nempo ni yes na once we've agreed say ye talk the Bost afa a CUT Bost specifications that you are mope ye fire no a 32 million Into by common inference, no one would say said then 17 million akano would have built bakona ekahono meboa.
Kai say the $8 million na ye can ho asem no a cost incurred adan you know
Okay.
Into offer any cost now one based with the $8 million as your choice, you'll be getting it wrong.
Okay.
I know you sunk cost in the project already, and I year 24 at the back of. Into ABS, can say the 17 plus the sunk cost of 8, and one, and you met me at us. You said no about $25 million.
Very well. Honorable Jinapor sign make key point be say 24 million amunya no objection clearance from Finance Ministry. Someone koje from Fidelity Bank no. Moje no at an interest of 18% per annum. Sanity.
Ma me say I know the just find it out. Name the rate at which the facility was secured. A prayer me no din come away. Nemo ma ti ade ba ko ho e wo mu so say.
Yes.
But it's on about Jinapor ka say the ratification I no was for $39 million. The umbrella naturally say the contract be eba na say amfa Public Procurement Act no kwan so na ekoduru baby na opese uma public procurement ebehwemu na ordinary shira ema the kind of ratification no. So what's the terms of the contractor? Untumi in the varied contract no map for ratification.
Also the original one.
And original contract no. And I would be back. And the $39 million contract no 2015. You find without records to the Procurement Act no and a call for ratification. You second of that ratification no. You find apply for the variation. Into your documents now. You see the variation for the one tower valued at $24 million. Remember the 23.5 is VAT exclusive.
I've seen that one.
Okay,
one. And I think logically it will lead us to this next question, sir. In most statement and issue, and I think you've also reiterated that point, sir, there were procurement breaches be in this process. Breaches, but specifically, what are the breaches?
Open me that say. Open to me after the Auditor General's report for 2020 for public boards and statutory organizations. On page 6, item 13, or say, these irregularities occurred as a result of management non-compliance with provisions of the Public Procurement Act 2003 Act 663. Out of the total irregularities, $39 million represented award of contracts without following due process by management of the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company Limited. It's everything na Attorney General etufo say e ba no say contract no a almost sign ye no say obi na koshe will be so ana wadi bibi say na mfrumu na all sign there bibi asanim into the contract there e valid between the two parties. Nemum Bost as a state-owned enterprise, obliged to go by the Public Procurement Act in all procurement activities. In this work of my contract, now I'm for procurement law more. Much of the contract is valid between wo and the owner no sign, the Procurement Act is so staring at you in the face to come and do the needful and sign what mean the start contract.
Do you
and the Auditor General pointing it out in the 2020 audit.
Okay, but do you perchance know which specific provision in the PPA Act the Ewada administration breached unim?
Before I respond to that, my main car will say, not Bost hot 2014. And a company now will see dino.
Yeah.
A bar Bost hotel. Me will design way over to me at the IO head office. So far. Messiama, ni boy $39 million, and a boss to say my sum. The Procurement Act no etrani say. Sanka opese we see this agreeing in the future yemuno. Why you drawing severe and now say you go by national competitive tendering. Say because me see head office. Design am penny. Into wa ube to me see bra natural menebo. Oya me fa. Ankra bebre na beba ho no obi ade ne bo a obetumi de asi ade na ba eboa ma ade no bo no esote nemom obi ba ya o si metumi asi ama ho $39 million o se masomu a eno na me nipa bi aden ye wo mo se ebi ana bibi eba wade ni mu a edi aba be wi
meaning say
but and to ne niema yie sa abre no one go through national competitive tendering na ko ba say obi di ba ya masom munye yanhwe no edi aba be wi no eno na auditor general they about better out the 2020 audit report say sa kwan na ye fa so edi enfa share sa contract na se no any procurement law no esia baby a enye yi esan say se obekọ so sourcing so kwa kopa de na pri baby ba ko a either say ade na wo ye no se wa anya bibi besi there should be an emergency and answer the okwaje free ni ho no ono ko na tini ye saa ade no a specific expertise na numpo no e was say wo chiro the common public procurement authority say e bia emre atayen nti ya anya ye ntumi anase ono ko na nim ye yamfa ama na obi antimi nye saa bre no ne ye so sourcing na mo nyambra obi abase obesi dan ne wo nipa ne contractors apempeman kama a omo tutumi si dan and obi di ade beto woni $39 million a wo se maso onko competitive tendering en konko hese di anabo no eso betumi atia
okay there is no record to show say ebia de ewuada team no eco PPA Ekwaji approval for sole source, and there is no such record.
There is no such record. In fact, there was an advice from the PPA say, Ekwainua onum faswaya no would not meet the requirement. Inti omu nanka omu MBA for national competitive tendering. Said ebeya ebebo ama ade no bo no ebi eswatie ansa na yaye. Baby anu kokori ye de mensanka krata bia ho. Nemum Ebrenumu anasa ankomodie ne cost between PPA and Bost Sabre no. Emu na Bost emeki the commitment of $8 million. Ema contractor we no if you in adjuma.
And I believe say enunti a new government ne yes say omun halte project no na onye no meba. Inti the project was halted based on suspicion say ebi omoye so sourcing into contract price near inflated and it was halted and omoye investigations ni wie now Ioko report which captures Attorney General advice near Adinyina ka say there was nothing wrong in the process. How do we explain that?
It was not about the process. It was about the contract between Bost and the company. And not one separate item. And a compliance with the procurement law, a separate item. You to me, you know, Bomwa, if I don't put Ragu, you're for any so. It's answer. We are managing director near the company in the show, sir. You're the Aswao, una Ujuna company in a name. A dear Biara, over carbon thing, no trim fine, young fair, you see, so now don't sabotage, it's binding on the company. And here 110. It's both a cosign contract with the company. Say NC office, make your $8 million. Would you do a certain stage? I made a 5 back home, a certain stage 5 back home. These are the terms of the contract. What signing there? Who be this so? The other leg and say, both are a state-owned enterprise. State-owned enterprises, Public Financial Management Act, Public Procurement Act, any day Akanoa are buying a day a boy and home and we say with this so and sana what they will start for share a contractor say with a third party. And no, and the Auditor General in the 2020 report, Edan Edipefe say, Yantumi anye, PPA advice how they buy send a woman fan competitive bidding, no, and no amaso, and I also source at dinner without due approval from the Public Procurement Authority.
Explain.
Anyway, two different things.
Yeah, Honorable Jinapor, question explain this for me in the statement I nemu issue Moka say the project was to cost a total of 39 million VAT exclusive. The procurement process was not followed through by the then management of the company at the time. Allegations of inflated cost resulted in the project being halted in 2017. I want to believe say allegations no flow from the fact that procurement process was not followed through. You thought there was inflation. A value for money audit was carried after halting of the project. Forensic audit by Ioko also confirmed that there was no malfeasance in the process. And a process, man.
The process of entering into the contract with the company to build the office.
Okay, what am I? JJ Musa the question. Yes. Yes.
Let's follow a chronology. He quotes Auditor General's report of 2020.
Yes.
Not 2017. You get my point? This thing was halted in 2017. It couldn't have been halted based on Auditor General's advice or report of 2020. Let's get that right. So if you halted the contract in 2017, the only reason for that halt was because of inflation. Because you can't Auditor General's report of 2020. What has that got to do with 2017?
Auditor General's report of 2020, which will review 2019.
Previous years, no, it may be including 2017 because there could be arrears.
2017.
Yeah, it's possible that it could review 2017, 2018, 2019. But I'm saying
Malik,
that you cannot cite Auditor General's report of 2020 as the reason for halting a 2017 document. If you say, even after all this, later, Auditor General advice will say, Munkoye Bibia. I won't even debate that. You know, it's not an issue. But I'm saying, the reason for halting this project was not because Auditor General or somebody said it was a procurement breach. And the managing director himself states that in his letter, Iyoko states that in the letter, John Kuma and Attorney General captures that in their letter. So it cannot be Auditor General.
But he makes a very critical point. So we have validity of a contractor. Ebia, only company third party now go into that contract. All the elements of a valid contract have been followed. Say it was being a state company, who go through a certain procurement process.
Going through that procurement is part of the validity of that contract. He hasn't adduced any information for us now. He is saying something on air.
No, maybe.
Iyoko is versed. The Attorney General is more qualified than provincial when it comes to determining the validity of a contract.
No, but ono kase the advice from all these bodies you mentioned was specifically on
let
the
him
contract
quote it to you. The letter is with you. Let him quote it where they talk about invalidity or not following a certain process in Iyoko's letter, in Attorney General's letter, and the Minister of Finance's letter.
Malik, me pacho
Obi Mamembra Muhammad, the Honorable Jinapor can bibi na yentuaso. Osi adan na 2020 Auditor General's report na yeka. No kwasome wo mu say 2015 2016 audited accounts. No Bost enya enyeye and our file. It was in the year 2019 after rigorous work and fana the financial statement of Bost for 2015 and 2016 year to me signing. And that was after the Auditor General had looked through them. Answer.
So then,
valuation no. But mami fa we nso. Enya valuation ba kope na ye ansa na ye di $49.6 million value na tum. Ye di kan de value ba kon e buy in 2017. Obeya na djuma wie ye no. Contractors na enya omo ho ntiafe. Yefa another one ebaye. Onoso be wie na djuma 2018 2020 and tiafe ama parties lintem. Ema ye pay evalua contractor no any boss any attorney general nyina ye gitum say ono de oya ebe ye final. Inti a no valuation eba in the year 2020.
Okay.
About 2020 no. Auditor attorney general advice say yen komi ni ayer leader en konkwat nafe na emre a etwamu no yen nyan ho siase ni hu kwan e be fa so ato adwuma ne so some no kind is pregnant with the fact say near ankoye in the contracting process any in the procurement act no yen komi for sure so the be ya contractor no be ye adwuma na katu e wasa ne nsaka no ne nsaka ama boss nsaka ne head office
my question then will be, sir, based on the work you did on Moamu account in 2019, and after Auditor General nya kwan a year extensive work how they buy who say breaches be of the Procurement Act akoso. Ain't it then in 2017, when the decision was being taken to halt the project, of course, maybe it might not be fair to you and your boss now because you guys did not take the decision then. By an institution, Bost as an institution, they decided it's on the halt contract now at the time. What was it based on? Because said they were now a Juma was a Bost here for Auditor General to be invited to come and look in your books, Now Omonye. And what was the basis for halting the contract at the time?
Midasi Obi. A ho any fan, Medimedi, just a may can cry, it was a shiny. A toda, Samanyosem, Eba Befrafra, Sikasem, any a Jumasimua, the Irie, any a couple. It means a day in Sembri, Ebramine. 2017, we named the basis the then managing director and the team at the hotel contract and I personally would say Sankebi Abutra Bemu Emma and the Munina Koswa and Kenyan is the name. Nemo Mabutra so a young kebab was Juma way pan said, who are Jimpa Usi head office, state owned enterprise, who himself Public Procurement Act who national competitive tendering. It sounds like the part of the one Jumana Yenti, Nemo was to be Timate. So be a song, company back up the Timothy head office. Into a year, then near for Pisa. The Bruce I pensum, Wemu, na ye, a man your son and to her, and for my control, and then I renew and remove. Or may be time, the decision to go so on the contract was bad, and the decision to halt it without adequate information or investigation was also bad. Now,
the decision to go, Malik.
I'm an hour near Koswa High Diet Nema Yajuma company no. And I am Fakmaya, a ya papa eso, and yes, I be Madana, my Binyaneka, Abondadano, Eson Passport.
Malik, I think the point should be, sir, the decision to go sole sourcing without approval from PP and a bad. Sole sourcing in itself. Sole sourcing in itself, never. Yes,
let me read the Attorney General's letter to Bost.
Okay.
And 7th March. That your letter does not disclose any issue of vitiating factors such as misrepresentation, mistake,
yes,
duress,
yes, undue
influence,
yes,
illegality,
yes.
So if the Attorney General says there's no illegality,
no illegal, and because we're raising a vitiating factors, the vitiating factor speaks to the contract between Bost and the third party.
That is all.
So
in that contract,
unconstitutionality, which means the Constitution was followed.
Yes.
If the Constitution was followed, it's not for these people to come and tell us the Constitution was not followed.
That is misleading.
Because if there are procurement breaches, the Procurement Act is an organ of the Constitution.
Yes.
Into who breaching now?
Yes.
You've breached the Constitution. Into East Attorney General can say you breach the Constitution.
You
cannot just sit somewhere and say
Malik. And yeah, organ. I think
it's not an organ of the Constitution.
Hold on. Maybe what he wanted to say and said it flows from the Constitution. It might not necessarily be. Yeah, it flows from the not necessarily an organ of the Constitution.
It is not an organ. Yeah.
Malik, fair. The human body has organs, and the human body functions.
The Procurement Act flows from the Constitution.
That is, let me take. Okay, it's a subset of the Constitution. And I'm a do you breach the Procurement Act now? Invariably, you are breaching the Constitution. And I'm saying, as Attorney General say, there's nothing like that. Two, no, say there's nothing. Now, three, across say they should need Rolida to reduce the contract price in the absence of any vitiating factor. Look, this attempt by Malik and Provincial to bring in the issue of so-called procurement issues, never existed before the contract was halted.
No, but the truth is so. I'm not maybe Malik. Now the truth is so, and maybe we have to establish that. Say, under the Ward administration, how was Rolida procured? That I think is a legitimate question to ask.
They should adduce that evidence. They should give you that so-called PPA letter. I can say don't do so sourcing. That's what he should be doing. I have sent you documents.
No, but I said
to buttress my case.
No record that says the World administration sent any letter to PPA for
they should have informed
IOCO.
They should have informed the Attorney General to address that. And the Attorney General, who is the lawyer of the state, would have considered that and weigh all these options. And your radio is now back a cast and he hasn't reduced it. Onukra say PPAC they should have done competitive tender. Where is that letter? You must not necessarily do competitive tender. You don't have to necessarily do competitive tender. If he has that evidence and information, on famreye na yenye den na yenhwe. He is the spokesperson of the entity. Meboa. On June 3rd, Mr. Edwin Provincial Malik, did he not hold a press conference to tell the whole country, say, the company made a profit of 31 million?
Who would address that? In the my address, the issue of whether they have evidence to the fact, say, the contract was sourced without approval.
I'll bring you a $5 million consultancy contract. Sole sourcing from Bost. $5 million. Malik, note it. No. I'll bring you to prove, say. No, but
is it sole sourcing with approval?
No, he says, say, you must necessarily advertise because
no, I think he conceded, say. Malik,
there must either be an emergency, a situation of exclusive expertise, or be a 94.7. Obi mean in the law of evidence, there probably be circumstantial evidence. In Nipa Bebre or Mayimu contractors are unbetimacy dying. Who advertise it up at the office now go for national competitive tendering. And yet Denara and Kubibe Hunu Nawaba. And you know, Cresse, Senipa do Besia, Adia Crohona will be a pair. A boy will be Bosso or Badiano. Will soon say be another day of work or Yadia. According to being some name and good. So that is the rationale behind national competitive tendering. And no amen. And I have a pressure on me. But I can't answer. I want to oba boss to hold. Say, me will design be a person, me see my head office. Me see I'm not going to $39 million. And a boss to say, Yadiatum. Sabe, say, only Hopra now, some years here. Yet, much away. A treacher from so yeah, I've been here, Jumaka Cray. The baby son say, Nancy, one corner, the 3-year design, is the idea. It's a common way to buy, you know. You be a Mukatra. A be uncle, better than you be. I'll bet me about the yet be a man was what you. Almost around us, almost a whole pro dear. A be a Benyadian Sakra. No matter, I didn't so Kakra. And none the man of Koya say, Sunny, Yafra one corner de ma or more, brand new or Monquan, the Nimi. And you be a na bibi sao. Bibi sao Monswa. Na and non interest and Cabana Sentia. Contractor company assign near Fitiasia area Huajumano. Yen chum and concopin saying remove, but I say remove no be anyone. A caba, why dear. These are little things. Yen so mamma. I was here to me the admin DHA. A 2 among your center, a 2 chain. Then a bayon near bed, a bubble of mine. That decision was in bad taste. Obi a why not so be kind of crowd who condemn it.
Okay.
And would equally condemn the fact say and give it to me and I go through the procurement process and at a lower cost compared to what we got.
No, I think
this notwithstanding.
I think maybe
the Attorney General
Malik, I think you've handled it at least. Your objectivity, is admirable. Baby, I was a ujitum, baby, I was a ujitum. But my point is, when the Attorney General was seized with everything around this contract, did he not consider, and I said, was he not called upon to give an opinion on and I said, boss man prompteno say on PPA processes nenso now advise it on.
My mean say who say what could sign contract no na ya hot. And I have prayer Attorney General. So on your say bibi attach you any man. So Attorney General so the honorable Jinapor can hear. Or whether there were any vitiating factors. And none the better my contract are invalid.
Yes.
No. And I'll say bibi after anyhow. There was no misrepresentation, no duress, no undue influence. In fact, he did not even mention fraud. In the contract, they are valid with a third party. But between Bost and Ghana buying, I have buying this yes, say state-owned enterprise. What the sika ewu adwuma no bi beto ade a emra da ho so when ni sa mra no so a wabu watomra wotomra no a aban anywudi auditor general e dey about pay so it sounds like now you go through the forensic audit and other processes no now you nwie ansa na e ya sa 2020 auditor general's report no eba na so auditor general e flag bibia oni management atna say e kira mo say ade we ya yahu no ne enye wo hu nie nti kwan a mo fa so a e beba abesi ne kwam indi nti auditor general akutuo any sense say procurement act na say na yenim se kwan e fa so call so sourcing no amfani mbra kwan mu nti na wo se yetimi e come back to the public procurement authority.
Is there correspondence? Is there correspondence between Mo and the Attorney General following the advice how them mo say contract na valid into mo go ahead no? Is there correspondence? Maybe I'm prompting and say contract ya will say valid no? Ya hwehwe man who say at the PPA level no I say nyoma bi ankoye wo ho in the twaso ayenye ya na say yenye den. Did you prompt the Attorney General?
Obi my man can say yeah no yeah ni obi anyan yeah Bost adwumayefo e ka yenko a na nke head officer yes wi ayetimo the political angle no final to nchen na hwe adwuma no mayen say yeah adwuma Bost yeah pay head office it na yeah penintam aten say na yes nyane ne na yeah hwe say the contract na valid there and yenko so ne yenko yeah adwuma eno no na futuo eba ya say auditor general am at this prompt there ne was say engage to make sure say the ratification no aba be ya adwuma because procurement act na ngasa kire say one famra kwan so now they aban sika sem koko wura ba bi say wo pade ato for a state owned enterprise e was say the public procurement authority ema wo mo so hwehwem wo mo hwehwem no emfa ho say yoko ahwehwem ana NIB ahwehwem ana attorney general ahwehwem. Public Procurement Authority is the authority to ratify a contract which is not passed through the Procurement Act amount. When you look at the act very well. And no, and I hear this one. The appointed destination.
Okay. I mean, Sisiano, the fact say what Jiatum say just maybe the administration then a halt contract, no. Sin slowly kakranka ebeboa yenyina because what I'm getting from Inkomoi and say the halting of the contract at the time no was not probably because say na ebioma identify irregularities be a PPA process naming no more halt a contract no maybe there might have been some other considerations which it will not be fair for me to call on you to respond to.
Obi now Ghana over Kaya 2016 election. It was part of the political talk.
Yeah.
Say head office no. Yes. It's immediately say no ho ade na bi and ade aba bi. I think say it is high time say you be Mutra, some of these jargons and platform talk. Not say Juma be wo banya Juma near the science. Emra enko, abanyosam enko, and an Indian enko. Baby, I in India touch mano. Young power no betu your phone near the Afan Pampa. So, Anyasa, yet the Kukaba mine kakwa, in Trimba and a bebre. And I think say, it was that in Fahonia Manukua will be more.
Final question. Is Bost minded to want to investigate some of the claims are minority no area? Number one, of course, you settle the issue of why the contract was halted. We all agree, say maybe na mistake be a but CC they are raising the issues of year top one at 32 million. And Omufi said it was a oh no, I'm not saying it's a boss to investigate you. Boss minded to investigate. To want to okay, then maybe sorry. Will boss avail itself for any such investigation?
Obi, sir, Obi pade mu hunu epem and me o hear ade no kra entiase na nkasa am de ye press conference no any akuku dry they can say ade no bo akodu $78 million no e kire say bibi o ha o mo nkasa kra na o so mo nyam ntiase ye hwehwemu a bibi ensa won sa akiri a ye nkata so ma mo friend tiakiri yɛma nipa mmra megye di sɛ yɛnwie no na ntiaseɛ soronko aba obi biara ntɛm na afei ɛnyɛ saa investigation no nko yɛwɔ right to information regime obi wo ne Dominic nkrataa mu hia wɔ yɛ hɔ on this mumbra na yɛmfa bi ɛmma mo na munya mu ntiaseɛ sɛ kɔba sɛ nipa kakraa bi ɛna wɔ access to information ɛna nneɛma tete sei ɛkɔ so nipa no ɔka adeɛ no nyɛ nokorɛ koraa a wontumi ɛmfa adwenkyerɛ ɛmma san so wɔn nekura nkrataa yɛtwa bɛsie ne sɛ Bost signed a contract 2015 without the due process. Will be able to contract in 2017. Ewa abroad no so wanya nhwehwemu. Ebedi mpiensi echi no ade no bo akosoro. Ekosoro no Bost adwumako no yade de yɛka ene sɛ enye adwuma ne sɛ yɛmfa dan ɛma haye. Obviously ewo eye golf house area ho. Sɛ yɛka sɛ yɛtɔ saa ade no at $25 million. Na yɛatena ho sɛ yɛhwɛ na obi bɛba bɛhae ɛnɛ wɔtua $2,000 san kakra ntie bɛɛ bio no akyi ne ateɛ ka mmerɛ yi a yɛwɔ mu yi fuel a yɛtɔn no si yɛde saa $25 million no import a half parcel mpo ɛde ba ɔman yi mu a ɛni bosome baako no na yɛtɔn awie yɛbɛtɛne no over and over again saa nsuo de wɔtwe ne nso no returns ɛbɛtumi aba saa $25 million no ho no ɛbɛboro deɛ ɔba bɛtɔ dan no na ɔde ama renta nkakra adwene te sɛ mpaboa obi adeɛ ne kɛseɛ nti deɛ ɛde asa ne nsa no baabi a n'ani hwɛ sɛ ɔyɛ a ɛde mmoa bɛbrɛ ɔman no ɛhɔ na ɔde n'ani bɛhwɛ yɛdeɛ de sɛ yɛpɛ half of the 2 towers ɛde ayɛ yɛ adwuma no baako no ne wura a ɔsiiɛ no ɔmfa na sika anka yɛde bɛhae saa baako no yɛ invest in the fuel business and we are very hopeful sɛ returns ɛde bɛba no ebe chance de be to a dime $25 million. Near the ama high in kakra, I have more repairs and in the amount to Saudi.
Maleka J, my nasi. Next time, you best say in Comobio on more profits, nay, other issue. We are almost in the next few weeks, no more be announces some sweet news be to the Ghanaian people. We'll have that conversation again. Why?
Maleka sema welcome about procurement na ne fana here they never value for money.
Absolutely.
That's it. Mebwa. Osinka ye competitive tender. Ebien ke be cheaper. Ye be say e be value. Anything na mo se mo nyina mo appoint independent valuer. Our value kura no e buru se na award akwa negotiate ye no.
Because of the time lag.
That is it. Now on the 39. And also be unko say anko ebeye form enye we nko na ebeye enu nti na moye dey mo amkofa independent valuer or value ye no the price is even much higher than it used to be.
An independent valuer who came in 6 years later.
That no in 2020.
In 2020.
They said 2020. So 2017, 18, 19.
4 years later.
4 years. 10 million abekam. So prove to me say that so-called issue saying say word that saying it has cost any no, you should prove that is it because that is the bottom line. The issue is in say let's even assume I don't believe what he's saying because he hasn't adduced any evidence in respect of people. I haven't seen anything like that. I'm saying say assuming it was the issue of ratification, did that call for a halt of the project?
Wajiatum said that halt was.
So he should don't, but he goes there and then comes and says, "Oh, Sankaya competitor and Kebe cheaper." He says that here. Malik says that on your program. Says Sankaya no competitive tender, Kebe cheaper. The essence of competitive tender is a value for money. In our system, we are competitive tender. You normally don't go for VFM again.
Yeah.
We are so sourcing now. And your VFM say, "Oh, now they are bent beer." Now what party part? And you've done that. And I was beside say, and the money attorney general didn't get one to Rebecca say, proceed. No. Couldn't you also have written, oh, Eddie, but I was saying proceed, you know. You need procurement approval and pull. How can we proceed and start paying money? Won't it be an issue of causing financial loss? He says no, and they're no more. You see, Masa, he is a bit honest, but until he tries to mingle them up. On why to Musa politics, and this answer me by. And then I say, we should learn from these political issues, cause a bo or minor. Se party when a beba at all costs, as a final fault.
94.7.
And no what can, and because that is the bottom line of where we are saying,
Okay.
what can we learn from this issue? And then I may say, made the documents be bro, and that province here was signing sole sourcing contracts. So if you say competitive tender and a deep value for money, beba, then as best and as much as you can, always go for competitive tender, because that is your standard. But you set that standard, and you don't even follow it.
Because or can say there are instances where sole sourcing becomes the only option
Yes,
available.
sole sourcing is not a crime.
Yes.
That is if
But
that
it
sole
has to be
sourcing one
approved.
gives you value for money.
Yes.
And then you have to even go
To the PPA
to the
for approval.
PPA. And you can even sign a contract today and go for ratification.
Absolutely.
So it's not even a crime. It's based on the circumstance. And now PPA, you then go and justify.
Yeah.
PPA also work justify and when you approve.
94.7.
Why did the PPA know say Debbie? Because PPA can decline. And who I was signing, they will hold you liable for causing financial loss. And he attempts to mix the two, but we can't mix the two. Let us go to 2017 first, like you did and you've established it. Why did you halt the contract? If you had not halted it, in Kebebo Sakawe, because I now can say, what you are 8 million? No, I may no work contractor no. For 6 years, you've benefited nothing from it. So 6 years, no so would you rent, and no so no, what bohonka, and I fee, ya contract nasa balloon ko 49. Oko tobacco so, I was say we told 32. Meanwhile, 8 now would you were paying for the 2. Think about it. Say 8 now would you paid for 2 buildings. Now you are giving the man additional 24 million, and you are picking only 1. Who does this?
Honorable,
Last
Yes, sir.
we are ranking member.
One advice, Mr. Wa. Your best Abanwe.
Asempa
We are
FM
heading for disaster
94.7.
with ENI. Any
Sankofa.
Springfield for
Springfield. Okay.
enter one tower.
Okay.
Mr. Mewu and signing a fiat an authorization said they should unitize. Just say
fields, no.
we were not for minimum of minimum bush here. Yenny boundary non from. There's been a lot of litigation on that matter. I could pay international court. That matter would be litigated arbitration in September. ENI claiming 7 billion. Company name boom in the Springfield. Akwa judgment being to see I say a man buying crime to ENI. ENI is also won't you me fa ho me escrow no. World Bank I establishing. When I'm Jimmy Sika. And the one to me I will call on the LC. When they call on the LC, it affects Ghana big time. Eventually cry and hear gas no Emma. I think this is the time I say Abai. As Yanya Bain should step in, call both parties, and find an amicable solution to that challenge. Because it's a very, very serious and huge matter. But it will be Tuesday. I'll come conclude this boss issue with you. Not the next week. Yeah, take it Ghana gas. Na nyakano. So Uber schedule me. Na near baby.
Honorable, my uncle be sending a voice message of US Abraham.
Yes.
And I'm sure so yeah, ranking member.
Yeah, on my
Energy. I'm a member of the finance
member of
committee.
Member of finance committee.
Yeah.
The watching is one district, one factory, no. So all the machines, equipment, or factory, more exemptions be among
exemptions or yeah.
Yes.
Now for 3 years, I'm the Fidia Begu on my exemptions nice when you're free finance committee no. One person bear approval.
This number is contested. I don't contest it.
One person bear approval. Now
Machines not be good port.
But yeah, exemptions.
Yes, sir. May I tell you a question?
Exemptions.
Discuss it.
Does it come before finance?
Yeah, it comes because under our laws, only Parliament
can
and a bit
approve.
tax exemptions.
Yeah.
And you know what Ministry of Trade they say they do their evaluation. Normally they are called finance.
Yeah.
Now called cabinet.
Then
normally a joint memo. Yeah, best or normally 17 companies buy.
94.7.
May say if the chairman is convinced, we'll go with him. I've said mobile But don't also forget, say, oh, you're not buying a lusu.
Yeah.
But if you do an economic analysis, maybe it eventually benefits. Then you can defeat by creating human. Into those ones, then I think we should support them.
Yes.
I just have a feeling the chairman believes that abuse is kakre yabam. You might have a well-intentioned policy. You want to do something good, but in the implementation, no. As an
because I also had this independence factory maybe.
Yeah. The more region kwa obetua no anya
de keto. Ntimi enclear ne man so so.
But your any hopes.
They say Yamasa, you know. Tax exemptions in their moment.
No,
You can't do that.
Parliament will have to approve.
Parliament has to approve
On case-by-case basis.
Yeah, approving the principle.
1D1F no.
A principle. No, you're approving the policy of 1D1F.
Yes.
But you see, on a case-by-case basis,
Exemptions.
so what fall within that, and I say, oh, per tax, maybe a bumper so mouse car, oh, my parliament. Because young can say, Minister of Finance, and I told the decide say, but so I say, with 10 million, you don't come to parliament. But all the machine, now per tax waiver.
You
must go. That's what the Constitution says. The Constitution. Then how did they assess your tax? What is the amount involved? What's the tax break and all those?
I read your way. And Camilla made no corner brother. I was me for no. As I said, my community.
Ekosiisen high.